there's an asymmetry here, because the whole idea of our data being collected by companies that we may not even know the names of, or may never have thought about. We don't know what data is collected or what they're going to use it for. And we don't know much about them, but they know a lot about us. So there's this asymmetry of power, which I think is always worth bearing in mind. Now, obviously, it can make things a lot more convenient for us. You know, when I first moved to London 20 odd years ago, I carried around an A to Z. I'm just thinking, actually, I think I've still got one. So, yes. So, youngsters, I carried around this large book, which has maps and an alphabetical index of streets, hence A to Z. And if I wanted to travel around London, I would get this out and I would look up the street I was on and the street I was going to and find the pages and make my own route through the pages. And then I'd have a tube map. That thing was, yeah, it's a tube map on the back, and maybe a train timetable, and I'd have to plan my own routes. And now I just say to, I put into some travel app, I'm here and I want to be here. What are my options? And it's marvelously convenient. So, I don't think we should deny that. But you also mentioned the idea that our agency is taken away and someone else is in control. And I do think that's worth thinking about, because if somebody offers you a menu of options, there's a lot of options they're not offering you. So when the travel app says, oh, actually, you could walk here, it would take you 280 minutes and you'd burn 700 calories. Like, yeah, thanks. I'm not going to do that. And it will offer me certain options, but not other options. Now, you might say life's too short to think about every possible travel option, and that's a very fair way of looking at it. But there might be options that you actually would like to take, but you'll never know. And maybe in other contexts, that's important. Maybe in job adverts, for example, certain job adverts will be shown to you and others won't. But you won't know which ones are not shown to you. Whereas 20 odd years ago, when you used to maybe get a particular newspaper that carried particular kinds of job ads, everyone who got that newspaper would see the same ads. And you could decide whether they were suitable for you or not. But now some algorithm will decide which job ads you see, and they're not really being chosen for you to be the job ads that would be best for you. You're being chosen for the people that are advertising the jobs for. Are you the kind of person that they want to show the advert to? Or even, are you the kind of person the algorithm wants to show the advert to, because you're most likely to click on it and be interested? And this is where we get into loops where, for example, in a tech job, men are more likely to click on it and apply. And so the algorithm goes, oh, well, if we show this job ad to this kind of person, they're much more likely to click through, and therefore I'm being a more efficient advert. See how I'm anthropomorphizing the advert here. And that's where you get into these problems where the underrepresented groups never get to see the advert because they're less likely to click through. And so if you optimize for, I want the most likely people to click through, you're going to keep showing it to the same kind of people that are already in those kinds of jobs. So this is one of the new problems with this kind of personalisation, is that you don't know what you're not seeing, and you don't know what options you're not being shown. And so you're getting a pre-selected menu. And if you do live your life just by choosing things from the pre-selected menus, then your choices are actually being narrowed in ways that you might not choose. Why we like it is that we don't want to have to look at every possible option for everything all the time, because we live in an age with an amazing amount of choice. I mean, way more than our grandparents would have had, even. Which is great. I mean, it's wonderful we live in this age of plenty, relatively. I know it may not feel like it now in kind of post-COVID recession, but it actually still, compared to 100 years ago, we have the most amazing amount of choice and plenty on the go. But yes, we don't sometimes. I mean, I'm one of these people that I love going to those restaurants where they're like, this is the menu of the day. You have 2 options for starter, 2 options for main, 2 options for pudding. And I'm like, thank heavens I'll have this, this and this. Because I don't want to have to spend half an hour thinking, if I order this, am I going to get food envy because the person across the table has something better?